Hey, happy Saturday. It's your girl Lo Mein,
And the Eastery Esther Jade
and this is Girl What? So today
podcast.
we are going to be speaking with women who set the tone.
That's
And so
right.
that's the name of today's episode. Girl What? Women who set the tone.
Yes, and we have two lovely guests in the studio with us. We have Anneice and Carter Cundiff. And we're going to start off with our first segment. Everyone knows What's the Tea, Sis? And that title is Love in a Fat Flash. And we're going to be talking to the very awesome Anneice Skipper. So, girl, when we talk about women who set the tone, our guests literally shape how women are seen. Anneice Althea is a woman who says, if I'm going to go out here meeting people, it's not going to be awkward and dry. When her marriage ended and the group events were giving more clicky corner than new connections, she didn't complain. She created. In that season, she built Love Story Dating, curating real life in person spaces for folks who are tired of scrolling and ready to actually socialize again. She'll tell you her biggest achievements are personal, the glow you can't post, only feel. She is more energized, freer, and finally sitting comfortably in her role as a leader. And while she's not chasing titles, the receipts are in the people, the many souls she's encouraged one-on-one, the guests who leave her events feeling seen, uplifted, and reminded that their journey doesn't have to be rushed, skipped, or compared. It takes as long as it takes, and she respects every second of it. Anneice is here for the uncomfortable conversations, the beautifully awkward moments, and all that let's make it weird energy that comes with actually getting to know people. Girl, let's get into it.
Ooh.
So, Anneice, tell us a little bit about Love Story Dating.
Okay.
I kind of glossed over in the
No, that was
intro,
excellent.
but
That was amazing. I got emotional.
oh,
That
good.
was
You got all the feels.
I
Good. I did my
did.
job right.
You did. Thank you. That was a
You're
wonderful
welcome.
intro. Like you said, when my marriage ended years ago, I just wanted to socialize, just get out and meet people. And as we know, good marriages don't end. So it was getting bad for a while. Excuse me. And I think that when that happens, most of us, we kind of shelter, we hide, we isolate. So once I really said, I just want to meet people, I felt like I hadn't been out for a long time. And I was already on Meetup for professional things, ways to network. So I joined an event that was for 40 people, 40 plus. And the two events I went to, I felt like if I hadn't brought someone I knew, I wouldn't have had anyone to talk to because, and not in a bad way against the organizer, but it was a type of organizing that was, it was a big festival. And so you really didn't get a chance to talk to anyone one-on-one. You didn't get a chance to do anything but have an introduction, then people scattered. So I thought, if I feel like I need help with the mingling, especially with the opposite sex, I need to have an event where I get a chance to talk to someone just across the table from them. And that's when I started Love Story Dating. And at first, I just wanted something in real life, maybe dinner, and it's contrived, but it's practice. And I was working with a business coach. I still am. Her name is Carol Taylor. And she said, you should do some online events so people will want to come in person because they feel like they got to know you online. And that I feel is when it started to become more than just meeting in person because people in person and online, they had so much more to talk about than just I can't meet anyone or I want a place to meet people. And I found out, especially with men, they don't feel they have a problem meeting people. It's more like the event itself, they want more exposure to something that feels comfortable and not pressured. And it with women, similar. They want something that feels like there are going to be a lot of people there and it's going to feel like-minded people. So I've done different types of events in person and online, and I love it. I float on it, whether it's in person or online, I float for like a week because it's so much fun.
I will have to say your events are magical. Even though I'm not dating anymore, I do go to support, and I do love the energy there. And I was so looking forward to the gala.
I know.
You
I
know,
know. We do
just
have to.
because you get to dress up.
I know we have to address that. So the gala that I had planned, I had to. I say reschedule it for later this year.
It's going to be better.
Yes, it's going to be better, and we'll have more interest. And I think that I'm still learning how to embrace that this is something people want to do.
Yeah.
And I think I doubted myself too much, but I started to get interest as I said, I think we can't do this. And I hated that.
No.
But yes, it's rescheduled. But yeah, that would have been the first really formal event. And I think so many people were looking forward to that opportunity in that environment where it's not only for couples. I did say couples could come because I know people who are couples and people who were a part of Love Story Dating, and then they met someone. Not necessarily through Love Story Dating, but they went through their journey and they were involved and still wanted to participate.
I do think that most of your events are very curated and very thought out, so that makes it feel special and it doesn't feel like anything else. Like one of my favorite ones, even though there wasn't a lot of people, was the cornhole one, and that place is not there anymore.
Yeah.
But that was one of my most fun times because I got to go banter back and forth with somebody that I had played spades with previously. But Lo has a question for you.
Oh, okay, Lo.
Yes. I'm going to say thank you so much for, again, joining us today. And you can hear the passion in your voice, for your business and what you decided to do. And then you've also, again, let us know, like, what led you to this. So with that being said, like, how do you show up as your authentic self in a space where you don't necessarily know what day-to-day holds?
That's difficult. Because I do find that I'm always checking the temperature of the room. I try not to, but I still do it. And when I go to, for instance, with my events, and I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing, because when people come to the event, sometimes they are dealing with a lot. And I'm on level 12, just high, just happy. And I want to introduce you to everybody. And as soon as you come in, hey, let's meet. And I've had a couple of people leave because I was too much into my the moment of this is supposed to be fun and everyone's here to have a good time, and some people are coming out and they're hurting and they just want to be there so that they're not alone. So I have it not necessarily changed how I am, but I've been more observant and I ask permission more now. So instead of just saying let's meet everybody, I say, do you feel ready to meet more of the group? And I've had a couple of times where they said, not yet. And then they just hang with me for a little bit. And then eventually they do feel like meeting someone else in the group, because sometimes the groups are 3 or 4 people. And then sometimes it's 20. And if you were expecting 3 or 4 and 20 people show, then it is uncomfortable. And that happened, that the first time it happened, it was at the winery. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it different next time. And sometimes people come and they feel like I want to leave, and I talk to them and they might stay, and they say, I'm glad you made me stay. And then sometimes they still leave, and I understand that because it is a very sensitive subject. And sometimes you feel, and I understand that when you're out in an environment that's meant to meet someone, even if that's not your plan, sometimes you feel guilty if you're new to getting out. And one gentleman, that happened, and he said, no, I still have to go, because he just felt so uncomfortable. And I understood that. But I always feel when people are brave enough to come out, when they're feeling like I'd rather stay home, even if they're there 5 or 6 minutes, I'm glad we had a space for them to be available for them.
Well, props to you for being, growing in that experience and being empathetic. But you already know what I said about placing professionals up in there, because you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to ruin the
I agree. Yes, and I agree with you, Anita, because it is true. People are coming in, and it would be great if they had someone professional to talk to, at least for just a few minutes, because it makes a difference. But
don't tell them, because
Right. Because they would.
I think women would be more open to it. I'm saying for the men because that whole thing of getting therapy is not one of those things that a lot of people will, or men will say they would want to do. And I think,
I agree.
Ease them into it. Maybe.
I agree. And sometimes I'm not a therapist, but you can hear certain things from them that you say, even though you're not a therapist, you can identify something is wrong. And
you don't have the tools.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know there was one gentleman, he said that he was just glad he had something to look forward to. And when you hear that, you know it means there's a lot going on. It's not just your separation. It's not just the divorce.
Something inside of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so in those moments, I do wish I had at least a contact. So anyone listening who would like to to contact me so you can come to our events and at least be a resource, because I agree with you. And Esther, I agree with you, Esther.
See, I knew it was going to happen. It's okay, though. I'm sure people already know my government.
I didn't need to expose you. But you exposed me using my last name. And when you did it, I was like...
But it's... Oh, you didn't want to... You just wanted to go by Anneice?
Anneice Althea.
Oh.
It's okay. It's out there now.
Sorry.
How many Annices are there? Very few. So
very few.
They probably know it's me.
We have a very forgiving audience. The second question, in your own words, how do you set the tone for yourself and others you plan to encounter throughout the workday?
I don't know exactly, because
your events, I should say, not workday throughout your.
I try to go in with very little expectation, because I feel that the people who are coming, they have a lot of expectations. And at the beginning, I worried about that all the time. I worried about what experience people were having, and did they feel that they had enough fun. They wanted more people there. They wanted more men there. They wanted more women there. And I went into just this, when I first started, especially on Meetup, if I got something less than 4 or 5 stars, I was like, what happened? What's wrong? So I think for me, I go in with the idea that I'm meeting new people, and I feel that someone is going to appreciate this for more than just the fact that it's fun. So if one person can benefit and feel that they're seen, they had a chance to connect with someone, then it was worth it. Whatever the other outcome is, whatever the other, however everyone else feels about it. And I've had events where, one in particular I had online, I call that a flame, where you meet and you go into a separate Zoom room, and only women showed up. And they were disappointed, and they said...
Practice, honey. That's what I was said.
And they said, well, we're just going to drop off. And then one person decided to stay, and we talked the rest of the hour. And just in talking to her, I realized she needed that more than she needed to connect with someone. And she said that. She said, I'm so glad that you stayed to talk to me. And it was one of those situations where she knew a guy, and she just needed to hear herself say it. That all the things to understand this was not worth her time. And I think she wanted to meet someone because she wanted a distraction, but this person was just on her mind. And once we talked about it, she was like, yeah, you're right. I knew it. And I think that
Trust your intuition, ladies.
Exactly. That's what she needed, that one-on-one. So it was good that everyone else said, we're just going to drop off, because they didn't have the fellas.
Man, I wish I was in that one. I've been one of her Zoom rooms before. There's a lot she puts into it, and I love that. I love how you have everybody come together, and then you do the break rooms. Was it break rooms, right? Yeah, the break rooms, and that was fun. But I would be like, no, y'all, let's get some practice in.
Right.
You know, don't need to be romantically interested in the person. You just, what they say, practice makes perfect, I guess.
Right. And I do say that when we have an odd number, and I'll say, because some people do come to events and they just really don't know how to talk to people. And I say it's the 4 F's, and I give them prompts, things to talk about. And then after we do our one-on-ones, then we have group discussions, and I give them a fun question related to relationships to discuss. So it makes it more than just everyone showed up and then try to come up with something to talk about. Some people are very uncomfortable with that, and it gives them anxiety. So that's when I started adding more to it to say, if you feel like you need something to talk about, try this. And if you feel like there's a lull, you can always go back to this.
Okay. I love that. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Let you guys go into a commercial break, but we're going to come back in our next segment and stay tuned.
All right, y'all, welcome back. We are here with Miss Carter Cundiff, and we are now going to be getting into our Love is Blind series. So, Esther, go ahead and take over for me, girl.
Yes, welcome to the Love, Baby, and Other Grownfolx Business Chat. So, Carter Cundiff is an associate photographer at Kate Styles Photography, a professional photographer, natural connector, and certified storyteller behind the lens. Carter's had a camera in her hand since she was about 17, and along the way, she's woven creativity through self-discovery, community college, entrepreneurship, and deep community connection. Her gift? Becoming the bridge between a woman's vision and how she shows up in the world, whether that's for the public eye or for her own legacy. Her work has been featured in Times Square, spotlighted in a hardcover magazine, and she's a familiar voice across podcasts. She's also behind the powerful 40 Over 40 campaign photo experience, celebrating women in their fullness. And a fun fact, Carter is a natural redhead who has had a camera in her hands since she was 17 and is currently on a journey to becoming a shaman. Let's welcome Carter.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I have more questions on the shaman part.
Oh,
wow.
God, girl, I'm figuring it out. I'm happy to say what I do know and what makes sense for me, because I feel like that journey it's unique to every person.
Well, we might have to have you on another show for that one.
Yeah.
So the first question would be, what attracted you to the photography field?
So I actually have a artistic family too. So my mom had her own business. She was a graphic designer and pen and ink artist. Oh. And my dad did 3D CAD, if you know what that is. Basically, he created the blueprints and the specs for different products and things like that for the brochures and whatnot. So more math technical side of the artistic world, but I also think that everyone has artistic abilities. Mm-hmm. They just use it in different ways. They solve problems and challenges with artistic abilities. You know what I mean? So seeing that in front of me every day, and then having the way that I feel like I am the bridge between a person and their vision, and then creating photos for it, is because I start to envision things as soon as you start telling me a story. I understand people and their life and the environment and their experiences through their stories. Like, Lauren, I had to ask your name twice.
Right.
Because, sometimes the words and the names don't click right away.
Yeah.
But it's something about you that it's just like I automatically have some like vision in my head that helps me understand it.
You can think of the singer.
Yeah.
Because I like to sing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love to sing too. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Have any struggles made you want to throw in the towel?
Yes. Yes and yes. And it's in each season. So, I mean, as y'all know, as entrepreneurs, if you're not at least like once a year saying like, hey, do I still want to do this? Yeah. Are you really in business? Because you're evolving with your craft, whatever that is. And then you're also evolving with who you are as a person, and you're evolving. And does that still align? And for me, it was learning the technicals, again, since I was about 17. I've done classes in high school and community, like technical centers that I went to, internships. I went to community college, Bright Point now. But, along the way, it's, yeah. I was losing my track, but yes, no, it's definitely figuring out along the way how you have to kind of reshape yourself, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I was going to ask if you were from here, because
and
when you said technical centers, it just made me think, because I know not every area does have technical centers.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if she's from around here.
Chesterfield, baby.
Yeah. I was going to say, look. CCPS, yes.
There you go.
But
I haven't worked for them for a little while. I was in their payroll department.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing now.
More free.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, I was like, like I said, when you said technical centers, because I'm trying to convince my son to go to one.
Yeah.
Because of what he wants to do, but
what does he want to do?
It's funny enough, one of the things that he had chosen that he was interested in was photography.
Cool.
But now it's more on the digital side of the arts that he's interested in. But yeah, so he's like, I didn't want to apply, but I made him apply. So like now we're waiting
Good.
for
Good.
It's like, yeah, so
Good.
we'll
And
see.
I recommend both because I had friends on the CAD side that went to the technical center the same year that I did, and they were pretty like excited about it.
Oh,
So yeah,
Nice.
it kind of puts you into that, not professional, but like almost like a college atmosphere before college, and I think that's good for. I think it's good for them. You know?
Yeah. Dip the big toe in the pool.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you wish you had known when you first started?
Oh, that I had time. That I had time to figure it out, and I didn't have to be perfect because I'm a little baby perfectionist, the little Virgo that I am. It's very true to that sign, and I've had to work overtime, not having to be perfect and not having to. I mean, honestly, it's not wearing a mask, right? So that's kind of a part of that. I think I've learned, and the shaman journey's helped me with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think I was going to say, you kind of touched on this earlier, but how does your love show up in your work?
I love just like how I love other people. It's hearing them out, validating them, giving them a space to be whoever that they are, and not be nervous or scared about it. Because
I can attest to that.
Oh, thanks. Well, I mean, and it's true, and it comes from a place of that's what I feel like I didn't have at a young age, and I had some things happen to me that I feel like safety was taken from me, and just autonomy, and then also not being able to share all the parts of you with everyone. So I was good at grouping, like jumping around to different groups of people. They didn't always mesh together, but I hopped around.
Yeah.
Because I just liked being around people, and it was easier to be what they needed me to be, in a sense. Like I was part of that, but it was easier to kind of shapeshift.
Yeah.
And because I did, and it worked out well for me. And then I was loved. So I think I want to give love, and it shows up in that way for my clients and with people in general that I connect with, because it's what I truly wanted from other people in a very specific way that I did not express. So now I'm flipping that around for other people.
I get that. I was going to say, I feel like I'm kind of that way as well, like a shapeshifter type, because it's like people will see me with so many different people. I'm like, oh, these are my friends, or this is such and such, and she always chuckles, and it's like, oh, if like we're trying to like find somebody to get on the show, I'm like, oh yeah, I know them, like, or I know that person, I know that person, and she's like, who don't you know? And it's like one of those things where it's like it's because it's like it doesn't take much to. And one difference with me, I will say, I use the word friend very carefully.
Yeah.
So I say I have a lot of associates. So it's like one thing where it's like, I associate with a lot of people. And it's because I'm able to get along with groups of people that are different.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not stuck in one particular box. So it's like, okay, even though I'm not speaking to you every day, like we have that type of connection where if I reach out to you and I'm like, hey, like I know such, I know this and that and the third, or I know someone who I may need to be in contact with.
Sure.
Is there a way you could be the bridge, so we can get connected?
That's awesome.
That type of thing. So I definitely feel you on that piece, because it's like, okay, I feel loved because I know I have a community, something that we preach about all the time on the show. And it's just like, because I have a community, I'm able to be a community to others.
Yes.
So that I definitely understand that.
And so many people don't realize that's all they need.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then as soon as you start having community with people, regardless of if you're on the same plane or not, you start to find who you are, because they give you that jumping pad to do so.
Yep.
And I love language is so important. That's how I feel, and words that we use and being intentional. So I love that you said associate versus friend.
Yes.
I actually listened to a podcast earlier today, and she said she doesn't say friends with her like networking people, that she's like, you get intimate with them, but you're not best friends. That's another relationship. They're allies. And I was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because that is it's a different category, but you're not telling them everything.
Yeah.
You're not always going out to dinner with them. Like,
for sure.
They don't know 24/7 access, Yeah.
How do you guide curious or insecure clients with your work?
So we mostly work with women, and even men, they're all insecure. And it's funny. It doesn't matter the body shape or type that you are. Everybody has insecurities about themselves, especially once they see themselves in the back of the camera or when they're standing in front of it. So it's kind of my job and our team's job because it's usually in the studio, it'll be one photographer, because we have 3. We have a hair and makeup artist, and then we have sometimes our personal stylist that will come in and she'll help style either beforehand or during. And then I'll have an assistant. And every person has a job, and it's very intentional, whether that's to like help her feel good while she's getting photographed, while she's getting her makeup done. It's kind of like girl time at the beginning. And then once we get into it, it's me, and I have a dancer background. Most of the girls on the team do, and so it's us doing the poses with you. It's us mirroring you. It's us making you feel good.
Right.
Because when it comes to posing, not every body shape can do the same types of poses. Flexibility is different. Comfortability, like we think about all of that. So it's more than just snapping a picture for us. But when it comes to, it's just paying attention to their energy. It's paying attention to what they're saying to you. Are they starting to talk themselves down? Are they really nervous and they're kind of like jittery? How do we bring that temperature down just a little bit, or rise it up if we need to? Right. You're the guide. You know what I mean?
What would you kind of, I know some people would call them boudoir. Would you call them? Okay. So, yes, so for those who are listening that didn't pick up on what we were saying, we're talking about boudoir photography. And I love that. How do you captivate a person into becoming a repeat client?
Ooh. Well, I've got a great example for you. We've got one client who, she came in probably 6 years ago. She came in for what was 30 over 30 then, and now our 40 over 40 campaign. And I think she did a little boudoir, because we can kind of do a mix. We do branding a business, all the things too. And she was telling me the other day, she's like, you know what, Carter, I think I know exactly what happens. She's been in 3 times now. I just photographed her a few weeks ago. She said, every time I go through a life season change, I feel something in me, and then either y'all reach out to me about something, or I reach out to you.
Wow.
And so, and I'm getting chills. It's so corny, but it's not. That's the impact that we unintentionally were leading, but at the same time, very intentionally putting out there, because it's so much more than taking photos. For us, it's creating legacies, whether that's for your personal story, or if that's like your brand or your business, it's sharing, why did I get up at 5 a.m. for a year and work till, 11 p.m. to make this thing work and make this thing happen, because you had something in you that knew you needed to be doing this thing for your own well-being and for other people. So it's being able to share these stories for people that don't know how to do it for themselves. And sometimes they've lost themselves along the way. And so then it's not uncommon for during the reveal. So at the end of the session, we look on the TV, we look at all the raw photos. And there's women that have said, I forgot that she was in there. Like, that's the 15 years ago, so-and-so. And that's just like, that's what it's about for us. Like, that's what we want to hear. That's the impact.
Yeah. You guys got any more spots open on the 40 over 40?
We do, girl.
Oh, okay. We might have to talk about that later.
I'm not there yet, but soon enough.
Whenever you're ready.
But even with that, like even with you saying that, I haven't had the experience to photograph with you all, but just even hearing that, was just saying, like you said, everybody has insecurities, and I'm sure even when they step out, like you said, it's just kind of like, oh, that's me. Like, I'm still that girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. And it's just like, sometimes we just need that hype woman. We need that hype crew just to remind us of who we are. Be like, you may not look the same, but that person that you are is still in there. So bring that out. Like, that's who we want to see. That's, that's who everybody knows and remembers and loves. Like, just because you don't look the same as that particular person 15, 20 years ago, like, that girl is still in there. So like let's bring her out, kind of thing. So I absolutely do love that, because it's like, even for those who are walking in and don't necessarily know what to expect, for you to sit down and have this whole team that's motivating you and actually being in there helping you. That's also not something that a lot of photographers a lot of photographers do, so it's like you get that personal experience to make you feel seen as well. So that's something that is very beautiful.
Thank you. Just thank you.
What's your favorite part of what you do?
Oh, I I mean, because I'm such a connector, I love connecting with people and hearing about their lives because it helps me like experience the world more.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, it's getting to hear the stories that sometimes they don't even tell their partner. Sometimes they haven't told their kids before. It's funny, we talk about the makeup chair like the therapist, you know, chair. It's
a 2-for-1.
You got it, right? Like, okay, whatever you need today, I guess we got it for you. No, it's being able to connect with people, and I don't think it was until more recently in the last like year or so where I realized that felt like a superpower for me with my ability to be open and connect with other people.
Right.
And before now, I would have felt like, oh, that's kind of conceited to say, but nah, I tell women every day, don't feel vain, don't feel like, stand in your power.
Right.
Today is especially a day to tell us who you are and own it. Why can't I do that? You know?
Yeah,
exactly.
And so that's the thing too. They're teaching me to live what I'm what I'm saying.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell everyone where they can find you out on the interwebs?
Sure. So you can find us at our website at Kate Styles, and it's STYLES photography.com. You can find me on Instagram at Carter_KSP. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will be back with our final segment on Girl What Podcast.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to Girl What Podcast. We are still here with our lovely ladies, and so we're going to get right back into it with the group chat got deep. And this segment is called, under the group chat got deep, this segment is going to be called Love Note to Self.
Yes, and we're back with Anneice Althea of Love Story Dating. Our first question is, how does love show up in your work?
This is emotional. I don't know if I can answer this. I think for everyone that is dealing with a breakup, that's something I understand.
Yeah.
Some people, it's not a breakup. It's just that they haven't found someone and they're single over 40. My group is for people over 40. Anyone can come, but I focus on people over 40 because I'm over 40. And so some people just feel like they haven't met that right person. And most of the time, whether it's because they haven't met someone or because there's an end to a relationship, they really feel like something's wrong with them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's common, but not normal. It's not a good idea to think it must be something wrong with me. So that's one thing that I always encourage is when we're all talking together at our events. It is a vulnerable space, and people are allowed to be vulnerable. And sometimes we'll have conversations, and it's not intended. It's not the purpose of that event, but people will talk about what they saw in their ex and why they feel they're making the same choices. And so they're wanting to take accountability, but at the same time, because we're in a group, we want to help and say, but don't blame yourself. And there have been occasions where we've talked to people because they feel open and comfortable, and they'll talk about abuse they suffered and where they felt the relationship failed or what happened. And then I'll hear other people, talk about how to give yourself time and give yourself grace. So I think we have a really good environment that our group, and the way that I post the events, it pulls in people who really are looking for something deeper and meaningful. And so they're ready for the conversation when we get there.
And I sign off on that because even though I'm not dating, I still show up to the events.
And I love it. I love your support.
I just believe in what you do, and I love the fact that you put time and attention and like love into what you do. Like you can just see that. Sure. I've been to other things, like I've done speed dating things, and it's actually a woman running that, and it was very thoughtful. I noticed that most of the time when it's women, it's a really thought out, curated thing, and it's not just like I'm just doing this to do it. Like there's intention behind it. There's intention behind what you do, and that is felt. And I think that's what makes it such a safe environment.
Thank you. I do want it to feel that way, and I always want to plan something that I would go to if someone else planned it, and that I would go to if no one else showed up. So when I schedule something and I say, I want to go to this gallery, I want to go. So if other people show up, great. And then if they don't, then I don't feel like I wasted an afternoon because I was trying to do something I thought everyone else wanted to do. So I think that helps me love me more. And because I do it that way, when people show up, they feel they can do the same thing. Do whatever you want to do. And I do encourage people, come to my events, and then anything else you find to do, if it's your cousin's wedding and your best friend's office party, whatever, but you will go feeling like more comfortably yourself.
Okay. Can you tell us
And
maybe?
like I said,
Oh, go ahead, Laura.
oh, sorry.
Hello.
And as I mentioned, before earlier, like, you can hear the passion in your
Thank you.
voice. So it kind of actually threw me off guard when you were saying, some people kind of like come to your events and they're not high energy, or they're not like, they're just kind of there to be like, I'm looking around, kind of scoping around, and then might leave. Because it's like, even honestly, I'm the type of person where it's like, of course, I feed off of energy. So of course I'm expecting everybody in the world to be like that too, but I know that's not the case. But
Right.
it's also one of those things where it's like, your energy is on 1,000,000. If I come in on a 0, let me at least get to 500,000. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
could at least be half of what you are, because it's like, you even like, and I can let the people know, like, I'm not in studio with you all now, but like, even with me being on the line, like, my stature has gotten up further. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, like, I'm peppy over on this end. And so it's like, of course, being in the room with you, I don't see how people would still necessarily want to at least not be happy. Maybe I can understand not necessarily wanting to meet people, but still just kind of being like closed off and cornered to themselves. Like,
How you
honestly,
gonna
I don't
meet
see how
somebody
that
if
could
you?
happen. Right. And
Yeah.
that's what
People be
confused
killing
me too.
me.
It's
I
like,
know.
you're coming to an event where the premise is you meeting other people. So
This is why
why
I
are
told
you
her to put
wanting to come
professionals in the
out?
crowd.
And so it's just like, make it
It's
make sense for me. But yeah, it's
I think
your
some.
energy is beautiful.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Your energy is beautiful, and you're not even
Thank
here,
you.
and I just know. And we haven't met in person, but this is wonderful. But I think sometimes with people, they're encouraged because someone else asked them to come, and then sometimes they're just in a lot of pain. And
Yeah.
in one of the events, I think it was two sisters, and the other one said, yes, she's going through a breakup. And I asked, is it okay if I talk to her? And she said, probably not. She really doesn't want anyone to know. And she was really separating herself. So as we were walking around the winery, she just wanted to sit at the table. But she was there. So I'm glad she came out, and even if it meant it looked a little different from how everyone else was experiencing the event. Because sometimes I feel like that might be the safest place for her. You never know.
Gotcha.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad that even if they're like, I don't want to be here, I'm glad they are.
Well, speaking of events, what events do you have upcoming in the month of April?
I am starting for the Shonda Rhimes book, Year of Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it in 90 days. So I started initially planning to do it for the whole year of 2026. I think that was a bit much for most people to want to commit to. So my plan is to start doing that as like a book club that you can participate in and talk about the things that you plan to say yes to, and do that for a 90-day sprint. And I want to do it for myself as well. Like I do my events, I want to do it for myself because there are many times you don't say yes. And if you just said yes, you would experience something amazing. And then we'll get back to our flames, which is the one-on-ones where you separate into Zoom rooms. And I call it unspeed dating because it's more than 5 or 7 minutes. It's 20 minutes. And it gives you a chance to really talk to a person, hear what their story, not necessarily your life story, but hear more in-depth conversation than you would ever get in 5 to 7 minutes. and then some in person. Now that it's getting warmer, we can do some more in person things.
A lot of gardens opening up. I know that the cultural museum next to the VMFA is doing like a garden type of party. I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
it's getting hot out there. Skin showing.
Yes, we like the museums and the galleries.
Don't mind me, y'all.
I want to do more of the more active events, but usually we don't get a lot of people signing up for those.
Yeah.
Esther, you do sign up for those.
Yeah,
yes.
I do.
But
that's why I'd be all upset. Like, dang, I wanted to go to
that. I know. But I want more people, like when we were going to do the water play at the park, and not enough people signed up for that. But I think the more we have publicity, people will find more fun in it. And I did get some feedback but if it's for dating, no one wants to get wet. And
you might have to open up just a little bit to the younger side, because the millennials.
Look, I was going to say, even with our previous conversation that we held before, that was one of the questions that I asked you, Anneice, because I'm not 40 yet. And I was like, well, can we come too? Yes. So I literally was going to say, I've spoken with Anneice, and she's given us younger, under 40s, the okay to be able to come, but just don't act crazy, and don't think that, this is some young nuck-if-you-buck party, because it's not.
I will act crazy. Do whatever you...
It's like a Luther Vandross.
Whatever you feel.
Chill. Exactly.
Because
if your parents grew up and had you listening to the old school songs on Saturday mornings, then you can come.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You can come at any age. I've had people in their 20s say they wanted to come just because they like the idea of the event. And yes, absolutely. I always say you can come. I just don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. I don't want you to assume
and
that
you know what I said about that.
I know.
You can't control someone else,
So I just want to have them prepared. Just manage your expectations.
Yep.
I don't want you to come and it's 40 plus, which might mean people in their 50s and 60s, not just in their 40s, and then feel like, oh, I didn't want to come now. But yes, absolutely.
Usually younger people, I'm going to say this, and because I've been in all types of meetup rooms, younger ones, and honestly, I never noticed that was an issue with people's age. No one's an ageist. Most of the time, if that was the issue, people wouldn't be showing up.
Yeah.
But I think, you might, bring in the youngins, and certain people come in too.
You're right. I have no issue with that. I have friends that are in their 20s. I don't have a problem with people in their 20s. I'm not in any way saying something is bad about younger people. But just that the environment for in real life, I think people 40 plus are more expectant of that. Because I think we're in our people specifically in their 40s are of their age when you remember dating before online dating. And so you might have, it's convenient, but I remember when. And so I find more people in their 40s saying, I prefer in real life, in person, because they remember when they first started dating, there was no online dating. And then when it started, it wasn't as interactive as the apps. It really did have you only meet, and then you had to meet in person because you didn't have all the activity online. So 40 plus, you have a different perception of dating. Yeah. So, but anyone can come. I encourage everyone to come.
Okay. How do you guide curious or insecure clients with your work?
I'm not sure exactly that I'm doing it in a way to guide people, because I want everyone to have their own journey. And I have realized that because I dated very little before I got married. So I had a very sheltered everything. And I noticed for myself, just meeting new people, that it's a lot I'm learning. Sometimes I just wonder, why would you lie about that? And it's baffling to me, the things that people will lie about. And you're just saying, but if you told the truth, you can go get the person you really want who's just like that. And so I like that I've learned and that I've experienced, and no one warned me and said, hey, don't talk to that guy. Don't talk to him for more than 2 days, because this is what's going to happen. I'm glad I had the experience. So, and I have had recent experiences where I hear them telling me details about it, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a train wreck. But I don't want to say that. I want them to have that experience. And and grow from it. And if they ask my opinion, I'm willing to share it. But I try not to guide their journey. I really just want people to live and know that whatever you want to do, whatever you feel in the moment, enjoy it. And that's why my tagline is Adventure Love. Just enjoy the adventure.
Okay. Lo, did you want to ask the next question?
Indeed, indeed. All right. So, how do you captivate a person into becoming a repeat client? So, in your case, someone like an Esther who, who continues to support your events and looks forward to them. So, what do you do? What is your special plug? Look, aside from your high energy, that you use to captivate those to become repeat offenders.
So, just a caveat though, I'm not her intended audience because I'm not
I mean, I
dating.
know, but that says a lot though, because you're not dating and you're continuing to go to these events that she's holding. To me, that says a whole lot.
Yes. The main thing I would say is at every event, that's why I like them smaller. Every event, I talk to each person individually and we take pictures. So if they say, I don't want the picture posted, I won't. Some people don't want the picture at all, but we'll take group pictures and I will take one-on-ones, partly because if I meet someone I think you might like, I'll ask you, can I share your photo with them? So I think being one-on-one as if I came to see only you, that helps people want to come back, and usually that is their response. They had a good time and they felt like they were a part of the event, and I always encourage that people feel a part of the full event, the group event, and they feel like they at least met me, at least talked to me.
Nice. Well, can you tell our listeners where they can find you on the interwebs?
Yes. It's Love Story Dating on Instagram, on YouTube, Meetup, Facebook, and the website is lovestorydating.com.
Right. Well, thank you for being a guest here. We're going to move right into That's It. So, a little bit about this episode of Women Who Set the Tone on What's the Tea, Sis? We talked about love in a flash and how it's important to be your authentic self, and had a conversation on that with Miss Anneice Althea. And then we spoke to Carter about Love is Blind and talking about how, she shows up for her clients as, in her photography industry, and how to show women or men who are doing these boudoir photos, trying to give the best version of themselves and just, loving themselves. And then our final segment, Love Notes to Self, we spoke with Anneice, and we just talked more about how she shows up in her love story dating business and how she gets repeat customers. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
But it's been an honor speaking with you ladies today.
Yes.
Oh, such a pleasure. Thank you, ladies.
And thank you for listening to another awesome episode of Girl What?
Girl
Podcast.
What?
Podcast.
Stay connected to Girl What Podcast by following us online. You can follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Girl What Podcast. That's GURLWHETPODCAST. We'd love to keep in touch with you. Come on, keep talking with us. That's what we do, right? Mm-hmm. So we have our, reflections. If you have any questions, comments, or you yourself want to reflect on anything you've heard us talk about, please don't be afraid to hit us up. Again, you can hit us up in our DMs on Instagram, or if you want to comment under one of our YouTube posts, you're more than welcome to do so. Again, both of those handles are Girl What Podcast, GURLWHETPODCAST.
And you also have the option to leave us a voice memo in our DMs, or leave us a voice message at 804-476-0905. Again, that number is 804-476-0905. And with your permission, we may feature it in a future episode. Your voice helps us shape meaningful dialogue on Girl What? So remember to stay in community. Remember to stay bold. And girl, keep talking.